This show was first broadcast on Free FM 89.0, Hamilton, New Zealand's community access radio station. For more information on our station and our wide range of programs, visit freefm.org.nz.
The music that they're planning to use to crumble the morals of America is this rotten, filthy, dirty, lewd, lascivious junk called rock and roll.
An hour of 60s underground music from around the world. Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Radio. Great 60s Garage Punk, freakbeat and psychedelia. Podcast via all good podcasting providers and facebook.com/retrospect garage punk radio.
Why I believe that is because I know how it feels when you sing it. I know what it does to you. I know the evil feeling that you feel when you sing it.
Hi 60s Garage Rock fans, I'm Phil Gray. This is episode 567 of Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. Thank you for joining me. This episode is the first in a two-part series featuring the music of California. And it is a show that I've prepared, well, a few weeks in advance, because at the time that this is first broadcast on Free FM and the time that this podcast is first released, I will be exploring some of my favourite parts of California. And I expect I will be out in the desert somewhere, in my happy place. So it is 2 weeks exploring the music of California, all Californian bands, starting off with an outfit called the Green Beans, who recorded for Mercury Records, release 45 from November 1965. This band, actually originally from Green Bay, Wisconsin, they had been called the Zacons, relocated to LA, became the Green Beans. We had their very first release, Don't Give Me No Friction, from the Green Beans, the B-side of that 45. Hi, I'm Phil Gray, host of Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. It's a labour of love, and if you dig what I do, why not buy me a beer? Yeah. Or just a coffee? You can do that now via buymeacoffee.com/Mr. Phil Gray. That's buymeacoffee.com/MrPhilGrey, Mr. Phil Gray. I may not be able to have a beer or coffee in person, but we can do it virtually. On with the show. Well, we continue with bands out of California. This band From Lomita in Los Angeles County, February 66 release on Valiant Records. The band is called The Grains of Sand. This is the B-side of this 45. It's called She Needs Me.
Hey there, you garage rock fans. This is Jim Malik. I covered guitar, vocals, and harp for the California 60s garage rock band called the Brimmers. You're listening to Phil Gray and his 60s garage rock punk show on Free 89.0 FM. So stand up and grab that air guitar and get ready to rock. The song you're listening to right now is called I Want to Tell You. My band, the Brimmers, recorded and released it in 1966. Rock on, you garage rock heads.
I didn't mean to say those things I said. So now, leave me cry.
These groovy cats could care less about what happens in Washington. It's really not their bag.
Retrospect.
Listening to Booker T and his MGs talking about them green onions. Them green onions, man, they're making me hungry. It got me thinking about Jethro's Rib and Chicken Palace. Features the best breast and thighs you ever let cross your lips. Ah, you're gonna love them to death, baby. Hey, you know what this is? This is the cat with that pretty muscle-bound face. It's the cat that you love. It's a cat who brought you all those oldies but goodies. Those flashes from the past, those good old good ones, love them to death, baby. I'm the cat that is so cool that you gotta call me the Iceman. I'm live from KCLK studio in Visalia, California. Oh!
I first met these next four fellows when they appeared in my TV series, and I've been among their fans ever since. Now they're at the very top in the popular music world. Ladies and gentlemen, the Standells.
I'm going down to the strip tonight. I'm not on a stay-home trip tonight. Long hair seems to be the main attraction, but the heat is causing all the action. Bright lights everywhere, pretty girls with long, long hair, but somehow the people, they don't care. It just doesn't seem fair to bug you cause you got long hair. Even the parents are beginning to stare because of the siren on our streets that used to be neat, but now it's just a place for black and white cars to race. It's causing a riot. It's causing a riot. Yeah. Somehow the people, they don't care. Just doesn't seem fair to bug you cause you got long hair. Even the parents are beginning to scare because of the siren on our streets. They used to be neat, but now it's just a place for black and white cars to race. It's causing a riot.
Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show as we explore the music of California. And I remind you that if you're listening to this on an Apple device using the iOS podcast app, if you check your device, you can see images of all these bands, of the 45s, bunch of stuff there. And if I get a moment, I will pop up a version on YouTube as well. In fact, go on YouTube, search Retrospect 60s Garage Punk. You can see the YouTubified version of the last handful of shows there. We had a set of four. First up, the Grains of Sand, She Needs Me. Then we had the Brimmers from San Joaquin Valley, California. Had a hit with Sacrifice. This was distributed throughout Europe, Australia, even here in New Zealand, would you believe? They formed originally in 1963 as the Defenders, friends at Lemoore High School. Described as fitting nicely on the shelf alongside the Kinks, the Byrds, and the Stones. The Brimmers, I Want to Tell You, and I thank Jim Malik for the intro. We followed that up with a second Brimmers track, their cover of Green Onions, and finally the Standells. Described as the punk band of the 60s, best known for Dirty Water, a 1967 45 on Tower Records, Riot on Sunset Strip, the Standells.
Many teenagers are as concerned as their parents with the public's conception of today's youth.
Retrospect. Well, California, very much the home to 60s psych. And a great example of that, the West Coast pop art experimental band formed in LA 1965. They sort of fluctuated between birds like folk rock and full-on avant-garde psychedelia. Fronted by aspiring musician Bob Markley, bankrolled the band as well. The debut album, titled Volume 1, released in 1966. This is the West Coast pop art experimental band with If You Want This Love.
This love of mine, keep me gentle and treat me kind. Don't be mean and don't be bad, and you'll get the truest love that you ever had. If you want my lips to kiss, come close and don't resist. Loving you this love of mine, baby, come on and get it. If you should fall in love with me, I'll bet you will never regret it.
I'm Jimmy Calloway from Los Angeles, California, and when I'm not running from the police for selling counterfeit vaccination cards, I'm listening to Phil Gray on the Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. Call my pager later if you need something.
Shadow. Retrospect. Susie? Susie Cream Cheese? This is the voice of your subconscious mind speaking, Susie. Susie, what's got into you? experience in a whole new dimension in sound. opened up your closed mind and take a trip on mine, and you'll never want to touch the ground.
Californian music of a more psychedelic vein, West Coast pop art experimental band If You Want This Love. Then the mighty Captain Beefheart, Electricity, recorded 1967 for the Safe as Milk album on A&M Records. Gotta love myself some Beefheart. Electricity. Then we had the Vegetables with a J and lacking an E, from Millbrae, California, fronted by Jan Erico, who also played drums for the recordings, one of the relatively few female drummers in the scene. They formed in Portola Valley, which is south of San Fran, in 1964. A lot of their recordings actually produced by Sly Stone. The Vegetables with Anything. Then finally in the set, Teddy and His Patches from San Jose, California, formed 1964. I think their best known recording, I love this one, Susie Cream Cheese, very much inspired of course by Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. One of two tracks recorded in a session at Chance Records.
Massachusetts, Michigan, Montana, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New York, North Dakota, Oregon, Rhode Island, Vermont, West Virginia, and Wyoming. You don't get much worse. I didn't like it. Retrospect.
Well, we're exploring the music of California. For the next 2 weeks, our next band, the Mojo Men, based in San Francisco, formed 1965, bunch of different names and personnel changes before finally breaking up in 1969. Their biggest hit, a cover of Buffalo Springfield's Sit Down, I Think I Love You, in 1967. But the band goes back to when some band members moved from Florida to San Francisco in 1964, specifically to form a band, and they met Sly Stone, then a producer at Autumn Records, produced the Vegetables, as I said, also the Beau Brummels. The band recorded a few songs as Sly and the Mojo Men, unreleased at the time. So the Mojo Men, this is a track called She's My Baby.
But she's so doggone fine.
Most of us have been raised in the tradition of Tin Pan Alley, where the songs, beautiful or not, were meant to amuse or beguile, but that's all. They were embellishments on life. What these young people seem to say is that their music isn't just decorative, and that's the pop music scene today. Serious and silly, sweet and grandiose, but all coming out of the kids themselves. They are trying hard, but whatever young people do, they tend to overdo. The jury is still out on their social ideas, but the verdict on their music is in. A great deal of it is good.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray.
Phil Gray.
Gray in Retrospect, 60s Garage Punk Show.
There's a drought
Right now, our guest stars are some lads who just are breaking attendance records all over the Southland and on tour doing the same thing. Establishing new records in the Southland. Couldn't be more pleased because they're a delightful group of guys and extremely talented. So, they are the Seeds.
Take a look at my palm. Tell me what you see. There's a romance crossing on over to me. The deer in the forest, covered by the hunter's gun. The people on the street have nowhere to run. 900 million people daily, all making love. 900 million people daily, all making love. How I wish that I was a fish to swim the sea and be free. There's a Neptune's a garden growing without sun, and old King of Neptune and the mermaids are one. 900 million people daily, all making love. 900 million people daily, all making love. Oh, tell me, baby, what you want. Oh, tell me, baby, what you need. A tiger stalks the jungle tonight, looking for fresh meat that he can call. But a man is strong, can take you there. And a man is strong, can make you there. 900 million people
That set started off with a track from the Mojo Men called She's My Baby, actually sampled, notably, maybe, by Kanye West on a track called Hell of a Life. Then we had The Savage Resurrection from San Francisco Bay, active just 67 and 68, one of the youngest psych bands in the area. The lead guitarist Randy Hammond, just 16 years old. They signed to Mercury Records, released a debut in 1968, very much under the inspiration of Love and the Jimi Hendrix Experience, but the band had discontinued by that stage, a footnote in history. Savage Resurrection, track called Thing in E. Then we had the Count 5, had to include the Count 5, from San Jose, formed 1964, a CD bonus track from their Psychotic Reaction album re-release called Contrast, and finally another great band out of LA, The Seeds, with 900 million people all making love.
Ladies and gentlemen, when you feed your children on rock and roll, you're feeding them on something that destroys their virtue and their willpower.
Retrospect. 60s garage punk, garage rock and psychedelia. We have been exploring the music of California, a lot of bands out of LA, but we have not, of course, included any global garage this week, but I am going to finish off the show with a couple of global garage tracks, not bands from California, but you'll find out why. The first one, actually a band out of Spain. They recorded for a label called Hispavox. This one, a 12-inch LP released in 1967. The band is called Los Angeles, and the track, as you'll know, is Waterloo Sunset.
Es como un río, toda la gente que cruza en la ciudad. Luces lejanas son como estrellas que cantan la amistad. Pero yo solo estoy y miro dichoso el paraíso que ofrece Waterloo. Cada día miro desde mi ventana y yo me siento feliz cantando Waterloo Sunset Todos se pintan ilusionados, sueñan con el amor. Al fin de semana llega la hora de verse en Waterloo. Pero yo soñaré mirando a lo lejos el paraíso que ofrece Waterloo. Cada día miro desde mi ventana y yo me siento feliz cantando Waterloo Sunset cruzando el río los que se quieren de la ciudad se van. Waterloo Sunset Waterloo Sunset Waterloo Sunset.
That's Spanish band Los Angeles, a twist on the theme this week and next week, all tracks out of California. Los Angeles out of Spain, their cover of the Kinks' Waterloo Sunset. And I'm wrapping this week with a final track, this one also a twist, because the band is called Los Angeles Azules. The track Bailando El Stroll. They're out of Mexico. This one from 1962, recorded for Musart. This band also did a cover of the Beatles' Little Help from My Friends called La Ayuda de la Amistad. So Los Angeles Azules, wrapping this first in our two-part series, paying tribute to the music of California. Thanks for joining me. I'm Phil Gray for Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show. Connect with Retrospect. Retrospect Garage Punk Radio on Facebook and Retrospect 60s Garage Punk on Instagram. And for back episodes, find Retrospect 60s Garage Punk Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and lots more great podcasting platforms.
It's a tragedy.